Hey, everybody in the building. I hope you're all doing well. As you can see, this is a different one. There is major breaking news, and I know a lot of names have been thrown into the hat. We've even heard Jose Mourinho's name in the past 2 days since he went to that Fulham game. But I mean, I don't think that was ever serious. Anyways, anyways, this is the first time. I mean, Ruben Amorim, I have to be honest, I really thought that one was going to happen, but this is the first time where it looks like it's nailed on to actually happen. Every single reliable source that we can imagine, Paul Joyce, Melissa Reddy, the list goes on. David Ornstein now, as you can see here that I've popped open, is saying that, not only is he our priority target, you guys, but he is also interested in joining the club. And it seems like it's only a matter of time. I think it could be today, it could be tomorrow. It's moving so fast, you guys, that right now it's just about agreeing a deal, a fee with Feyenoord, the Dutch club that he's, managing right now, to be able to bring him and his backroom staff to Liverpool Football Club. And because he's interested, because Liverpool have identified him as the main option, it's only a matter of time now, guys. It's only a matter of time. So the first thing, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know how all of you guys are doing. It is also match day. So happy match day, everyone. I forgot to say that. But I mean, this is such big news that I just felt we had to do this live. We had to discuss together because, yeah, this is a deciding day in Liverpool Football Club's history, And like I said, I really think in the coming days, if not today, we're going to get news that a deal has been agreed, and that he's going to be our next manager. But first, I want to hear what you guys think, and then we're going to have a look through at some different info on him because I don't know that much about him either. I've saved some tweets, I've saved some opinions, I've saved different things that I want us to look through together, and you guys are going to tell me how you're feeling. But I just want to make sure that it's all looking good because, as you can see, this is not usually how I do the setup where I have this open at the same time. So I just want to make sure I'm going to pop it open here to see that you guys can see the tweet and everything and that you can also hear me. I want to make sure all of that's in order. Okay, perfect. I see you guys can hear me. I see that the screen is good quality, like the actual Twitter being open. Everything looks like it's in line. Awesome. And yes, Frank's Beckham, I'm going to be doing a watch along tonight too for the game against Everton. I mean, the massive Merseyside derby. And we can also discuss that. But here's the thing. I do want us to focus on that man, Arne Slot, who is likely going to be Liverpool Football Club's next manager. If there's any Feyenoord fans in the building, please let me know because we want to hear your thoughts. But I'm also going to pull up a comment that, and I just made a short about it, but this Feyenoord fan that had some beautiful things to say about him. And, this is how I personally look at it. I don't like to read the reaction of fans that have barely watched his football, that just see the amount of trophies he's won, his age. Him being bald has been mentioned so much on Twitter. Like, how is that relevant? Physical appearance should not matter for the job. It should not matter for the job. I don't know how anyone is even discussing that. What I will say is that I just want to hear what the fans have to say who watch him week in, week out. That's what I did, for example, when we signed Wataru Endo. I know it's a player, but I think it's a similar example that we can discuss. When we signed Wataru Endo, I'll be honest, I had barely watched him because I didn't watch many of Japan's games. I didn't watch Stuttgart in the Bundesliga. But what did I do? I turned straight to Stuttgart fans. I spoke to some of them, and the way they spoke about him so highly made me think, wow, you know what? I'm not going to listen to all the crap on Twitter on people saying, oh, we didn't sign Caicedo, we signed some 30-year-old dude that nobody knows about. That's not how this football world works, and we've been proven right again in how much of a revelation Wataru Endo has been. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to pop open after I share this news from David Ornstein. But I mean, pretty much every major journalist, like I said, from Paul Joyce to Melissa Reddy to everyone from The Athletic, everyone is saying that he's not only our top priority, but we've already put in a bid. And I'm going to pop that open after. But like I said, Pep, Eric Ten Hag, and now Slot, bald managers. Yeah. Lol, just as I said, he's bald. Yeah, but what does that matter? I genuinely, the amount of people I see on Twitter saying, oh, he's bald. oh my God, like we've never had a bald manager, this and that. I'm like, bro, it does not matter. And you cannot compare him to Ten Hag. I understand they both came from the Dutch league, but you cannot compare them. And the main reason, if you're asking me why I think, I've been doing a lot of research the past 24 hours, because I'll be honest, I knew nothing about this man. Like literally nothing, because I'm so focused on Liverpool Football Club and the Premier League. But I've been doing a lot of digging, reading, listening to fan POVs, like I said, watching videos, different things, right? And the reason why I think out of all the options, Liverpool decided to really go for him and not Ruben Amorim, it seemed like those were the two most serious options we were looking at. And I think one of the big reasons we went for him is his style of play is very similar to Jurgen Klopp in terms of the high press, high attacking, all of that. But also the formation, the way he sets up is 4-2-3-1. He switches between 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3. That is very similar to the way we play. And the reason that's so important is because it means that we already have the squad. We already have the structure for a manager like Arne Slot to come in and be able to instill his style right away. While on the other hand, Ruben Amorim, because he plays three at the back, it would be a major transformation in the way that we set up. And again, that makes it difficult on the recruitment side of things, because it means that we need to sign a lot more center backs, because when you play three at the back, you probably need 6 center backs, which we don't have. So there's so many parts where I think they looked at Arne Slot and they compared him to Ruben Amorim, and they thought to themselves, we need a smooth transition. Someone like Jurgen leaving with all the star players that we have in the team, like the Virgils, the Alissons, Salah, all of these players who aren't that young, but we need to stay. There needs to be a smooth transition. And again, all of them are risks. I'm not saying this is not risky. The Eredivisie, the Dutch league, is nowhere near the quality of the Premier League. No doubt about that. And he hasn't played in the Champions League, which is something that really worries me. The fact he hasn't managed in the Champions League. But again, I think they're thinking more about philosophy. They're thinking more about style of play. And he can come in. Again, he's a very different personality from Klopp. That's not the problem. I think they're more thinking we need stylistically something to be very close to what Jurgen was doing, so that he can come in and hit the ground running from day one, because that's just going to be the expectations of managing Liverpool Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, Daily Ori says, it seems to be a trend for the Prem, to be honest. He seems soft-spoken. Will he get along with the supporters? How will he make us believe? All right, Daily Ori, I'm going to jump straight to it, because we see here from David Ornstein. I'll just read this real quick, and then I want to pull up a comment that I saw on the Liverpool Goals post from a Feyenoord and a Liverpool fan that should tell us a decent amount. So first off, this is David Ornstein, who I think is the number one most reliable source. But like I said, Paul Joyce too and Melissa Reddy are top. He said Liverpool are negotiating with Feyenoord today, having made Arne Slot the preferred option, the number one option. They've shown Feyenoord total respect and are also in contact with him personally. The 45-year-old is enthusiastic about the potential move. Still other candidates, but he is the main target. And again, I think it's going to happen, because when all the main journalists are reporting it this much, it means that we know on his side of things he wants to join. We know on our side of things financially it wouldn't take too much to get him, because the max amount they're looking for apparently is 15 million, and we've already bid 9 million. So we'll probably meet somewhere in the middle with Feyenoord to make sure they get their compensation. My guess is probably around 12 million. And then, then it's done. It's a done deal. It's going to move quickly. And I spoken to my boy Bjorn, who is Dutch, and he's a big he watches the Eredivisie and he knows about him and everything. He says when contact has been made and all this, like in Holland, it moves very quickly. So that's again why I think it's only a matter of time before this gets fully confirmed. But yeah, with what Daily Ora has said, I want to move now to the comment from a Feyenoord fan, because I think it'll be interesting to hear. And here it is. So I saw a lot of negativity on Twitter. This is something I recently put out. I said, given it looks like Arne Slot will be the man to replace Jurgen, it's nice to hear comments like these from Feyenoord fans, to see how highly they speak of him. And they, again, remember, they watch him week in, week out, right? So it is from Niels. So shout out to Niels. I hope you get to Anfield one day, because you're also a Liverpool fan. But here is what Niels said, guys, okay? He says, I'm a Feyenoord fan and live in the Netherlands. In England, my favorite club is Liverpool. I can tell all the Liverpool supporters who don't know Slot, my Feyenoord heart will be broken if he leaves. But if he leaves, then to Liverpool, of course. I'm a Feyenoord supporter for 25 years, and Arne Slot is by far the best manager I've ever seen at the club. He has the same ideas as Klopp about attacking and high-pressure football. I've never seen such great football in my club. He's an intelligent, patient, and a mastermind in tactics. We destroyed Ajax with this kind of football. I believe the score was 6-2 when they played them home. Won the league, won the cup, and reached a European final. We at Feyenoord will miss him a lot. I always had a dream to visit Anfield once in my life, but if Slot is going to Liverpool, I definitely must see a match of Liverpool one day. Love to see that the most beautiful club in England maybe want our coach from Feyenoord. Liverpool and Feyenoord goes heart in heart. You guys will love Slot. You guys will love Slot's football, trust me. Okay, guys, like I said, these are the kind of comments I like to see because, yeah, he gets, this is one example from Niels, but he gets to see that football week in, week out. And I'll literally show you the latest comment from, I'm looking at YouTube because I literally posted this on it as a YouTube short. Tim, who says, I'm an Ajax fan. I'm happy because Arne Slot is coming to Liverpool because what a manager he is and we won't have to face him again. Things like that is what tells you a whole lot about the fact that he can be a very good manager, And again, we know so little about him and it's normal because most of us don't watch the Dutch league, but we have to honor the opinion of those that do. And again, I agree. Like a lot of people seem to be comparing him to Ten Hag. And I agree that before he arrived at United, he looked like a top manager. Like you saw the football they were playing at Ajax. It was incredible. He did so well in the Champions League, all these things. But again, I don't think you can compare it to the structure of United where so much behind the scenes is going wrong. I know now they're going in the right direction with this new ownership. But when he initially arrived, that wasn't the case. So I don't think Ten Hag can be used as an example of to say that, just because it's a bald manager coming. I mean, again, the appearance should be the last thing. Just because a manager was successful in the Eredivisie doesn't mean they can do it in the Premier League. Again, me personally, I still think Ten Hag is a good manager. I just think being successful at United is so impossible. Maybe now it'll change with the new ownership, like I said, but I don't think you can use that as an example, But let me see what else. So this, by the way, is from Melissa Reddy, who said Liverpool have opened. This is similar to what we were saying before, but Liverpool have opened negotiations with Feyenoord over Arne Slot. Sources in Holland indicate that the process could move quickly with the 45-year-old keen to join the Anfield club. So like I said, I expect this to move very, very quickly. Then she goes on to say the relationship between Liverpool and Feyenoord is good with the Dutch club. Appreciative of the respect and direction shown thus far, Feyenoord are also considerate of Slot's desire to make the next step of his career. Compensation is anticipated to be in the region of £9 million. Again, guys, that makes it very, very clear that it's only a matter of time that this is going to happen. Only a matter of time. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. That's personally where I'm at. Where when I heard the news, I'll be honest, like a lot of you probably. I was shocked at first. I was like, who is this? Like, a bit worried. But then, you have to do a bit more research. You have to hear what people have to say. And no one was going to be a great option, guys. If we looked at the market, like all of them were going to be risky. None of them were going to be crazy proven managers because that's just not what's available on the market, And yeah, let me know how you guys are feeling about it though. And let me see if I had another comment. Oops, this is not what I meant to pull up. Hold on. Look, and anything Liverpool, shout out to my guy who says, I'd say that less than 10% of fans on here knew who Ruben Amorim was before he was linked with Liverpool. Then, because of all the hype around him, people began to like the idea. Just because he comes from the Dutch league and is bald, they're calling him a bad manager already. I chat to any Feyenoord fan and they'll tell you he transformed their club. Which I think is facts. And then responding to that comment, this guy told says this is exactly what I've heard from all my Dutch mates who used to work in Amsterdam and the praise came from both Feyenoord fans and fans of all other Dutch clubs like Ajax and PSV. The guy is incredibly respected. All right, guys, I'm going to read your comments now. Let me know how you're feeling after everything that I've just said now. But let me show you also kind of the formation here. This is from Mark Carey from The Athletic, who talks about the formation. And like I said, he plays the most common formation that he's played is the 4-2-3-1, like I was saying, but he also plays in the 4-3-3. And again, it means that it's very similar stylistically to the type of players that you need, which again means that we don't need to have a complete revamp of our squad, and we can have a smoother transition. And as he says here, using a midfield double pivot to progress centrally through the first line of pressure, an aggressive, dominant style that is suited to Liverpool's current crop. Exactly. And here you can see their style of play in this season. This is the 2023-24 season. Amir Amir is asking what happened to the Amorim talks. It looks like we're no longer interested in Amorim. And like I said, my personal guess as to why we're no longer interested in Ruben Amorim is because of his playing style. Because we need to have such a crazy revamp in the squad that they decided to go for someone stylistically that resembles Jurgen Klopp a lot more. And the more you read about the way he sets up, the high pressure, the intensity, the attacking football, the more you realize, whoa, we're going to get a very similar style to Jurgen Klopp. And of course, he's not going to have the charisma, of Jurgen. Nobody will. But that's the big thing I don't want us to do, guys. Let's not compare him to Jurgen Klopp because no one's going to be like Jurgen. You know what I mean? And we have to be fair. It looks like he's going to be the man and now we have to back him. But I don't ever want us to be, and I know that that's going to be the natural thing to do, but it's just only going to make things more difficult for him and for us as fans if we have such high expectations, because Jurgen truly is once in a generation. He's a Bill Shankly, especially off the pitch. Nobody will be like Jurgen, and we have to be honest about that. Oh, did they Thiago time? Wait, my bad if I completely hold on, let me look at Feyenoord this season. Yeah, Feyenoord have played in the Champions League this season, my bad. And they got 6 points, to be fair, in a group with Lazio, Atletico Madrid, and Celtic. Let's see who they beat in the group. So they beat in the Champions League. They beat Lazio, so that's They beat Lazio 3-1 in the Champions League group stage. Let me see actually if I can pull up. This is when I was reading up on him. In his career, by the way, he made 462 appearances, scoring 100 goals as a midfielder. I know he didn't play at the highest level, but still, he played in the Dutch league. High-pressing attacking football wasn't always Liverpool's identity, though. Yeah, I know, Dilior, it wasn't always, but I think because of how well it worked out with Jurgen, I think that's the main reason why we want to keep that going, because it does fit with our identity quite well. We're quite emotional about our football. We're so close to our manager that I think that style of play works really well. And I think that's why they want to keep it going. And Amorim isn't exactly that. Croatian Country Ball says, hey Leo, from what I see, Arne Slot is very charismatic, loves the media, loves the fans, and talks to his players like family. I like this. Thiago Time says they had a real good game against Atletico in away from home. Wow, very nice. I'm gonna check who else they beat. So like we saw, they beat Scouse Chris. Thank you for becoming a community member. Big up. I love your logo too. Your profile picture. Love it. Yeah, let me see. So like we were saying, they beat in the Champions League. They beat Lazio 3-1 at home. Okay. And then which other game did they win? Let's see. They beat Celtic 2-0 at home. That's the other one. So they beat Celtic and Lazio at home. De Leor says, go back to previous seasons without Jurgen. Liverpool wasn't known for high pressing, attacking football. Isn't it time to try a new identity? I don't want to. You don't think that's the style we want to watch as fans? I don't want to watch defensive minded football. That's not fun. You know what I mean? I'm all for keeping this going. The only thing I have to say is, again, let's keep that going, but let's not judge the new manager like we would judge Jurgen, because again, just nobody is going to be like him, you know? And I personally, like as a fan, I like the emotional aspect of that high intensity attacking football. And even though you might concede some goals, at least it's just like really entertaining, you know? And that's why, like I remember my friend who's a United fan had Jose Mourinho at the club, right, at United during those times. They did win trophies under Mourinho, like the Europa League. So on paper, maybe he's been the most successful manager since Sir Alex, right, Mourinho? But I remember he would be so miserable every single weekend. And even though it's like, you're like winning games, he's like, I don't like, it's just so freaking boring. I don't want to watch my team play. And like, that's not a place we want to go to. We don't want to end up like that. And that's why I'm personally all for us keeping that style of play, So Mike says, dude, I feel bad for my Feyenoord fan dad, but this guy will work at Liverpool 100%. He's very good. He'll also be amazing for our youth. He helps players to the next level. That's something too. Apparently, he really likes working with the youth. And you see the crop that we have from our academy right now. There's so much talent. So think about what he could do with that. And also with him being Dutch, you have to remember Virgil. We need Virgil to sign an extension. We also have Cody Gakpo and Gravenberch at the club. Think about what he could do with them too. So I bet a big part of that too, you guys, is whether it be Richard Hughes, whether it be Michael Edwards, everyone behind the scenes is most definitely also thinking about, look, we have so much talent in this squad. We don't need a crazy revamp. Liverpool 2.0 has already kind of happened on the recruitment side of things. How can we bring in a manager that's going to be able to utilize all the strength that we already have at the club? And we do have a lot of strength. So I think they also definitely looked at that. And like I was saying, whether it be him versus Ruben Amorim, I think they looked at that and they thought to themselves, yeah, Arne Slot could come in and get the best out of some of those players, and that way we don't need to have a crazy revamp. Oh God, Daily Aura, no, not that negativity. Come on. Not that negativity. I mean, we all knew that no one is going to be like Jurgen once he leaves. But the one thing we can't do is be negative from the start, Deliora. If we're negative from the start, then that manager is not going to be successful. We've seen in the past, for Liverpool Football Club to have to be successful, we all have to get behind the message, the team, the style of play, everything. Because otherwise, you just don't stand a chance, because the fans are so powerful and have such an impact, especially around the power of Anfield, which is what we absolutely need to use. You know what I mean? Yo, my boy, guys, go check out GTV Football Channel, who says, big up, bro. I get the emotional aspect in terms of style of play, but it lacked flexibility under Klopp. Is Slot flexible with his approach? That's a good point. It's definitely a good point. And again, I don't know enough about him. I'll be completely honest. I literally said that when the news broke yesterday, I was like, who is this? What's going on? And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I am very honest with myself, and I don't think I have major ball knowledge in world football, just because, we all have lives outside of supporting our team. And I watch the Premier League, I watch Liverpool, I don't watch the Eredivisie. But what did I do? I messaged my friends who are Dutch. I reached out, I read all over the place, and it's made me more confident about it. I do agree, though, there were definitely weaknesses to Jurgen Klopp's style of play. And it's true, against teams like Man City and now this Arteta team, which is very impressive, can we go toe-to-toe with them in certain games? That is something to consider. I agree, because they are really, really good teams. And I mean, look at Arsenal last night. They won 5-0. Not that this Chelsea team is a very good team, but you have to respect what Arteta has been doing too. And Oh, let me move that here. Um, but yeah, that's a good point. Guys, if any of you, again, who are in the building, who are Dutch, who watch the Eredivisie or know more than us about Arne Slot, that's a good point. How flexible is he with this style of play? Please let us know, because that's something I don't know. But again, my belief as to why we decided to go for him, and again, I think it's only a matter of time, it's going to be him, is that I do think behind the scenes we were trying to find someone, again, that sees how much talent we have in our squad, how much youth, how many prospects we have, and thinking about someone that can come in and just utilize what we have instead of a major transformation. Because let's be honest, you look at our squad and I don't think a major transformation is needed in terms of players. The ability is there. It's more like you're saying adapting to a post-Klopp era and knowing that no one's going to be like Jurgen and no one's going to be able to pull off kind of the miracles that he's pulled off in the last 8 to 9 years. So that's the reality, you know? John, thank you for the super chat, who says, hey, what's up? It's been a hectic 24 hours. That's what's up, because it feels like millions of names have just been thrown around all over the place. And in the end, it looks like this man is going to be the one that we go for. And I think it's going to be just a matter of a few days before it gets fully announced. And because, look, I mean, all of the most reliable journalists, you can see here, Melissa Reddy, are reporting that it's pretty much a done deal. You know what I mean? Me neither. I'm trying to learn as we go along. Yeah, exactly. That's all of us. But definitely, I think we just have to be positive about it, and we have to back this manager, because we do have the right people behind the scenes. And if we're being honest, we definitely don't have the resources of a Man City, of a Chelsea, and therefore we have to have someone who is very clever. And from what I've read too, Feyenoord have lost some key players since he's been there, and he's been able to turn to the youth and get the most out of them, and all of these things, you know? So let's see if we got some Dutchies in the building. I see LH Edit says, what makes me believe is, as an ex-Feyenoord fan, he was a legend for us. He's amazing with youth players and socially amazing. He plays forms like Jurgen and things we have to instantly try. My boy says, I think ultimately Klopp is one of the best in the world, so we need to understand that anything is going to seem a downgrade, but it doesn't mean we can't be successful. Exactly. Okay, Tigo Time says, as a Dutch person, I think Slot is a great replacement. I think the only reason PSV has run away with the league is because Feyenoord lost some crucial players, which left them lacking some firepower. Yep, that's what I've heard as well. I'd heard that. Swedish LFC supporter in the building, who says, today I had 2 tests that weighs the most in my grade in maths. The tests were very hard. Damn. Swedish LFC supporter, I hope they went well. Feyenoord won a trophy 2 days ago. Yeah, they won the cup. Of course, Brian, tonight we're doing a watch along for the massive Merseyside derby, Jurgen's last derby. It's going to be emotional. Yep, it's the last one, as Adut says. John, thank you again for the super chat, who said there were 2 managers and didn't any of, I don't get, do you mean there were 2 managers we were linked with heavily in him now and Ruben Amorim, and you didn't want either of them? Is that what you're saying? Because I'll be honest, I was like, again, I'm not one to lie about where I was emotionally before, because I was really on the Ruben Amorim train, and I was fully convinced that he was the right man to lead us. But like I said, I think it would be a bigger transformation, and this one would stylistically just resemble Jurgen so much more. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Like we were saying, I don't know if that's a good thing, but you have to back who's making the decisions behind the scenes, because otherwise we don't have a chance of being successful, and all we want is for Liverpool Football Club to be successful, you know? Next Gen player says, I'm Dutch and support Feyenoord. Then please tell us. Please give us a long description of how you feel about Arne Slot and how you think he'd do at Liverpool. No, Waffles, I don't know how long the contract will be just because we haven't had any of that info yet. We haven't had any of that info. Let's see what Ryan Babel has to say about it because he's Dutch and you'll know about him. Let's see. He just put out a tweet. Um, Here's Ryan Babel. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. So Ryan Babel says any manager having the desire to take the Liverpool job has to know that he has to bring more than just a coaching staff to the club, more than 30 people behind the scenes that Klopp brought in, who are a major part of Liverpool's success over the years, are leaving too. It's a tough job. Exactly. Definitely. Definitely. Because it's true. Like I don't think any of us really understands. We all know who Pep Linders is, but there's so many more people behind the scenes that do play a really vital role. That if Klopp could go into detail into what every single member of that of that staff does, he'd say they're absolutely instrumental. And it's true that in that aspect of things, they're all leaving, and so it's such a fresh slate, which you probably need. But at the same time, it's so difficult because that's what made the club so successful. You know what I mean? Let's read another positive comment because I like reading positive comments. And it's from another Instagram Feyenoord fan. Let's see right here. So, can you guys see that? Maybe it's a little too big. Hold on. I'll just do this. John, thank you again for the super chat who says nobody can replace Jurgen Klopp. That's facts. Unfortunately, it's facts. But like I said, we have to back whoever is the next manager. So this another Feyenoord fan says, this is the best coach I've ever seen at my club. Don't compare him with Eric Ten Hag. He had great players who moved to Barca, Juve, Chelsea. Slot changed Feyenoord rapidly. He made every player better, even players we did not see the potential the year before. His achievement is extraordinary. It's sad to leave him Feyenoord, but really happy to see him at Liverpool. He's going to extend the success of the legend Klopp. See, these are the type of positive comments you like to see, you know? And look, I mean, there's number of different places where I see how highly Feyenoord fans speak of him. Like, look at what this Feyenoord fan says here. Richard Dombey, Ernst Happel, Arne Slot, the three Feyenoord coaches who changed the course of the club's history. All three were innovators in their own time. All three showed that our tradition can be one of progress and modern football rather than just hard work. I mean, I don't know Richard Dombey, but like the way this Feyenoord fan is putting him up there amongst all of their greats is a good sign. With his formation is 4-2-3-1, but he also plays 4-3-3. So again, it just resembles a lot more what we're doing, this stylistically what we're doing now under Klopp. Next gen players who is Dutch says he's a great manager, an iconic manager, and has the best celebrations. Klopp leaving will be a loss for the Premier League. I wish he never announced he was leaving. We'll never forget Klopp. Darzo says, I know nothing about this Slot fella, but I look forward to getting to know him. The only thing I know of him is that he's a pain to play against in Football Manager. I wonder what his Football Manager stats are. If you can pull them up, Darzo, let us know what they say his biggest strengths are. Because obviously, you can see the stats of the managers. I know, I was really excited about Ruben Amorim too. Nah, Daily Aura, Feyenoord fans look at the different comments we're seeing. Feyenoord fans absolutely love him, so they are very sad about him leaving. I disagree with that. Everything I've seen, you see it in the reaction. Jamie Gardner says, Leo, I love the way Klopp always wears the team gear, unlike most managers. If we get Slot, I hope he does the same. FM isn't a reflection of reality, but they do get attributes and stats quite right because they do look at things in detail. Here, we can read this from The Athletic as well, which will give us some more detail that I see was put out. In 2022-23, Arne Slot guided Feyenoord to their first Eredivisie title since 2017 and only their second since 1999. In doing so, he became one of the most desired coaches in European football. Remember, Spurs also wanted him before. Yo, Tomislav in the building, nice to see you. And then here's a quote that Slot says, there are not many coaches in my age group who are not inspired by the Man City coach Pep Guardiola or his Barca side. His team are comfortable in possession. They're intense with and without the ball. They seek overloads to destabilize opponents. They have fullbacks wandering into central midfield, and they recruit wingers who will go 1v1 with courage and conviction. Slot has previously rebuffed approaches from Leeds, Crystal Palace, and Tottenham. Damn. So does that mean that he rejected Tottenham? Maybe, because, The Athletic is a very reliable source for that. So maybe he did reject Tottenham in the summer. Contingency plans were being made and potential replacements outlined as Feyenoord feared they may lose their coach to Spurs last summer, only for Slot to release a statement confirming his desire to remain with the Dutch club. Damn, okay. And he said, quote, sometimes you also have to cherish what you have. There's more to life and to football than only winning a prize. It's also the way you work. Look at that, from 2023, from last year. And there, you see Tottenham News Channel says Slot, I know we were linked with him too. You're saying, yep, that's exactly what we just read. Calvin Milling says, Jurgen is a crazy manager and we all love him, but a relationship ends and our relationship is going to end soon. He'll always be in our hearts, but we need to be ready with Arne Slot. Love from Denmark. Absolutely. Spot on. Daniel's the best says, from a Dutch football supporter, Slot is really good, but he still can't replace Klopp. Yeah. I mean, who can replace Klopp? Like Ryan Babel said too, it's not just about Jurgen Klopp. Like, of course, Jurgen Klopp is an incredible manager. He's represents the values, the ethos of Liverpool Football Club so well, like Bill Shankly did. But all of the work that the staff has done behind the scenes has also been so important, and a lot of them will be leaving. So that also, I think, people don't consider enough. The fact that so much of that behind the scenes staff will be leaving, and therefore it's like a total restructuring in that sense. So I think because so much is going to change on that side of things, I think the reason they also want to go with someone who has a similar style of play, similar formation, is so that for the players where there's already going to be so much transition, for it to not be too overwhelming. You know what I mean? And that's why likely they chose someone who stylistically, again, is kind of closer to Jurgen. That's my personal belief. When I look at all the options we were looking at and now seeing that it's pretty much not confirmed, but pretty much just a matter of time that he ends up being the replacement. Let's see what AFC Ajax, the European lad who watches a lot of Dutch football, if he has anything to say. No, he didn't say much, actually. He just said, I find it so cool that two Dutch managers look set to be in charge of the two biggest clubs in England next season. Definitely nobody could predict that 5 years ago. Although I don't think Ten Hag will still be at United next summer. I think they're gonna let him go in the summer. Let me see what Moby has said as well. Moby has given some info too on hold on. Let me see. Tomislav says, Leo, I'm a different Tomislav. I'm from Serbia, and the other Tomislav is from Bosnia. Ah, okay, but you have the same username, Tomislav LFC. Bye, next gen players. I will see you later, maybe tonight for the Everton game. Let's see what Moby had to say. Moby says, like many, I preferred Xavi/Amorim, but life doesn't always give you first choices. Arne Slot is a good manager, having watched plenty of Feyenoord past seasons. I can say his football is entertaining. Will that work for us? We'll have to see, of course, but let's give him a proper chance. Having said that, I understand fans' hesitation, but we will be okay. Edwards and co. will be brave over popular in hiring, and will be brave over popular if there needs to be a change. No doubt about that. Exactly. What's going on behind the scenes is so key. And that's where I think it's very different from United, because so many people seem to be comparing us to when Sir Alex was left, and saying that you were going to have the same downfall as United. The structure behind the scenes is not being run in the same way as United. So I don't think you can compare. I really don't think you can compare. Fresh News says, hi, Leo. Rory from South Africa. I'm a huge fan of your page. Thank you, Rory. Big up. Big up. How are you feeling, Rory, about this imminent hiring of our next manager, Arne Slot? Scouse Chris says, a lot of people are saying that we're going to have a post Sir Alex type of downfall, but the difference is he left the club with aging players while Klopp is leaving us with young and hungry players. Exactly. And not just that, but also the structure behind the scenes in us having Michael Edwards as a CEO, in Richard Hughes, who's the sporting director, who's apparently very, very good at what he does. We've put in the structure so that when Klopp leaves, we do have people who know how to run and recruit a football club in the long term, and I don't think United had that. You know what I mean? And that's very important, because let's be honest, this appointment might not work out, but if it doesn't work out, at least we know we're not just going to go for the most popular option like it seemed like United did over the years, and especially in the recruitment too, where they would sign Pogba for crazy amounts, Ibrahimovic, Alexis Sanchez, like offering crazy wages. We're not going to run the club like that, and I like that, So, do I think it's a guarantee it's going to be a success? Of course not. Like, it's going to be incredibly difficult, especially after, this Jurgen Klopp era. But we have to back him, you guys. We have to back him. Tag free in the building. Who's sending those Klopp emojis in? Exactly. Our CEO, Michael Edwards, knows what he's doing. Everybody, all the biggest clubs in the world, Real Madrid, Chelsea, everyone was fighting to have Michael Edwards. And he accepted no one until he accepted us. And that's because he has massive responsibilities. He's not our sporting director. Remember, Richard Hughes is our sporting director now. He's our CEO, and not just our CEO, but he's going to be a CEO of future clubs and ventures that FSG's group want to invest in. So that's why he said yes, because this is so much bigger than the role he had before of just being a sporting director. I'm going to run a poll, by the way, you guys. I want to see how you all are feeling. If I run a poll for everyone to see if you're happy with him. Hey Leo, I'm from Rwanda. Of course I know the country. You said your dad is an Arsenal fan, your mom is a Manchester United fan, and your brother is a Real Madrid fan, and you're a Liverpool fan. That's insane. How did that happen? How come you don't support the same team? Scouse Chris says, so with the Edwards' new position as a CEO, does that mean he'll have the most say over our player signings, or will that mostly be Richard Hughes? I think Michael Edwards will still have like the overriding say, but he's not going to be as involved, I think, in the details of it all. I think obviously Richard Hughes is the one that's going to be calling the agents, that's going to be working with the scouts, that's going to be doing like the groundwork. But I think potentially Michael Edwards, before any especially bigger signings are made, he's definitely going to have a look at it all, at all the information they have. And if anything stands out where he's like, we shouldn't do this, then he probably will have that say. But he's not going to be, I don't think, involved in all the little details of what a sporting director would do. I think he's just going to be there for the final moment where it's like, should we sign, let's say it's Clivert, whatever, from Bournemouth, because that's where Richard Hughes came from. I think in the final moments, he could be like, no, I don't think we should go for this one. But again, I don't know. That's just what I think. Because, the way things are run behind the scenes, we can't know because that's not public. Moff says, I think literally the most exciting part is going to be which players Arne likes. I hope he gets some Feyenoord players for us. Yeah, there's a chance of that. Do you think Klopp will get a statue, says Festjeraffen? Of course he will. Of course he will. I just wonder when, That's what I wonder. By the way, I want to pull up this other tweet from Melissa Reddy, which shows kind of the key criteria, just so you guys get an idea. The key criteria that made us fully go for Arne Slot, and it's these, just so we can go through them. These are apparently like the main, and you can see them as bullet points because that must have been like the key factors that they're looking at. That one, there's a consistent trend of successfully implementing aggressive, dominant football and player development. So, like we were saying before, he likes to work with the youth. He develops his players. They've outperformed the budget at AZ. That's where he was before. COVID curtailed a title push and then a Feyenoord. Approach and preferred formation that suits Liverpool squad. We spoke about that. No stylistic upheaval, which there would be with Ruben Amorim. So I think that's definitely one of the major ones. Then his performance in Europe. It says Europa Conference League final performance versus Roma, where they lost on penalties and apparently they outperformed Roma. I didn't watch that game, but I've heard that they were very good in that final. League progression leading to the title, only their second this century, regular cup runs. They won the cup just a few days ago. And he works well within the structure, energized the club and the fan base. So those, as you can see, are apparently, and remember, Melissa Reddy is one of the most reliable journalists in terms of this type of info that she's getting is likely coming directly from the club. So, these are the main factors. Let me know what you think of these factors. But it's clear to see that they're kind of, they're the ones, all of the different points that they must have had on a board, comparing that to the likes of Ruben Amorim. I think especially Ruben Amorim, because to me, it seems like that was the other option that was most likely. And I think they kind of went toe to toe with all these different aspects that you see here. And in the end, they were like, you know what? We're going to go for, in the end, we're going to go for Arne Slot. And I think the way they're bidding right now, like I said, I think in the next few days, they're going to agree on a fee just in between 15 million and 9 million. And then it's going to be a done deal. And then it's just going to be about the backroom staff. Who is he going to bring? What more people does he need? All of those details, But like I said, I think it's only a matter of time now, which is the first time I've felt that way since all the rumors of the different managers started, Oh, I like that. Festjeraffen says slot in my language means castle. I hope he's going to be the king of the Anfield Castle. That's beautiful. Festjeraffen with some poetry in the house, in the building. Oh, yeah. Naz, I also saw that trending clip. Naz says, one thing I've been happy to see is the trending clip of his team talk after beating Ajax en route to their title. We absolutely need someone with a good personality to win over the fans quickly. If the decision was in your hands, who would you want to be the next manager? Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso, because I know he doesn't have that much experience at the highest level, but the aura, the what he's doing with Leverkusen, it would be Alonso in a heartbeat. I'll be honest. I have to be honest. Daily Ora says, does Klopp give the money back from his contract extension? I don't know. He could take as much money as he wants. Trust me, Daily Ora. The amount of money Klopp has made Liverpool Football Club over these past 8-9 years, my God. He's worth so much more than his contract, even if he was to get whatever's left in his contract. But my guess is he doesn't, from what I've read, he doesn't care that much about money. He's already way richer than he needs to be because he's going to be living a simple life. I see the type of personality that he is. And yeah. Zaid says, Leo, what about Jose Mourinho? No thanks. No thanks. The only way I would accept Jose Mourinho is if you told me, I would accept this in a heartbeat. If you told me we had Jose for 1 year and then the year after we got Xabi Alonso, then I would say yes. But that's just not the reality. That he's likely going to go to Real Madrid after Leverkusen. But we'll see. I mean, again, he doesn't have that much experience. Who knows? Maybe things could go wrong for him next season. We saw when Stevie G was absolutely killing it at Rangers, won the title, ended Celtic's insane run. Everyone was like, wow, Stevie's going to be world-class manager. And I think since then, you know, the job he did at Villa and now him being in Saudi, I think there's a reason why we're not linked with him and why Liverpool fans don't want him to take over, you know? And that's me being the biggest Stevie fan. It's just he needs more experience and he's not ready for that job, you know? Kelvin says, I will always support this club forever. Oh, yes. Zach says, focus on young talent. Well, if that's what you want, Zach, then trust me, that is what Arne Slot will do. And he apparently believes, trusts, and really is able to develop the youth. And that's, again, another reason why I think we're going for him. The club sees all of the talent that we have in this squad. And, you know, Connor Bradley, Stefan Bajcetic, Ben Doak. There's just so many. Harvey Elliott. That they look at and they're like, why do we need to go crazy in the market when we have so much at our disposal already? You know, that must be their way of thinking. What about Zidane? I don't think Zidane would move to Liverpool. Knowing him, I mean, all the interviews I've watched because I'm French and from what I've seen, I think he would only take a job that he thinks he would really like enjoy personally too, because he seems to value family and everything, and I just can't imagine him moving to Liverpool. No, like I love Liverpool as a city, but it's not a Madrid or a Paris, and he seems to enjoy that type of city. You know what I mean? So I really think Zidane would not be interested in the Liverpool job, as much as I think Liverpool's the biggest club after Real Madrid. With my bias. Does Zidane even speak English? I don't think he speaks English very well, from what I've seen. Do you think we need a new striker, says Panenka? Not yet. I think we still need to give Darwin a chance, but I'll be honest, I've been more and more worried about Darwin's finishing and losing a bit of patience, even with my crazy positivity. Scouts Chris says, do you think it is more likely for Xabi to go to Real Madrid or Liverpool after he leaves Leverkusen? If he leaves after next season, I think he might go to Real Madrid, but after that, I don't know. I definitely think it's more likely he goes to Real Madrid. I really do think so, just because, like Carlo Ancelotti, I don't think he's going to stay that much longer. And I think Real Madrid, with their next appointment, I think they're going to be thinking long-term because of how young their squad is. And let's say Xabi Alonso goes on next season and keeps up the insane job he's doing. Let's say he wins 2 Bundesligas in a row and does well in the Champions League. Then I think he's going to be the most sought after manager in the world, that I think they would go all out for him, Real Madrid. And they would think long term, you know, he's so young. They would think, let's have him for the next 5-10 years with the likes of Mbappe, Vinicius, Jude Bellingham. Oh my God, this is freaking scary to think about. But that Real Madrid team for the future, I mean, they have Tchouameni in the midfield, Camavinga. It's insane when you think about it. Valverde, my God. They have Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinicius. Too much craziness. Fesh Giraffe says, Leo, but I still think you're the favorite for the job as Liverpool manager. I would not want that. Trust me, I want the best for Liverpool Football Club, and I do not want to be the reason for the downfall of Liverpool Football Club. Oh no, no, no. Marnu says, do you think it's a massive loss about losing Amorim as the next manager? I don't think it's a massive loss because he's not proven at the highest level like an elite manager would be. So I think whether it be Ruben Amorim, whether it be Arne Slot that we're talking about, or whoever else has been mentioned, I think they're all massive risks. So I don't think there's one that stands out above the rest except Xabi Alonso personally. That's just what I think because of the season he's achieved with Leverkusen. I do think he stands above the rest. But all the others, I don't think you can put them at a much higher level than Arne Slot. I don't think so. But I will be honest, I was so excited about Ruben Amorim the more I learned about him, But again, you have to think about other aspects to this, and Melissa Reddy here, you can see all the different points as to why it seems like we're deciding to go for Arne Slot instead of Ruben Amorim, because I'm sure Ruben Amorim would have wanted to join Liverpool. I'm sure about it. I don't think there's any chance he rejected us. Calvin says, if you're a real Liverpool fan, you don't say they aren't good enough. Look at Klopp when he came. Many thought he wasn't good enough. Look at him now. So always support the new player or manager. You'll never walk alone. Exactly. Thank you, Reese the Beast, for that nice comment. Who says, who do you think would be the next Liverpool coach? I mean, like I said, I think Arne Slot is 99% nailed on to be the next Liverpool manager. Joseph, thank you for being a channel legend for a month. You absolute legend. Who says, I'm looking forward to the derby today. I think 2-0 Liverpool. Come on, you Reds. Oh my God, please 2-0. Please 2-0. I would take that in a heartbeat. I'm just stressed. I got to be honest. I'm just a lot more stressed now because of the fact that we no longer have Jota for the next 2 weeks. That's where I'm really stressed out because I think he's absolutely key, and with the way our finishing has been, I wanted him so badly. And I can actually show you guys this stat too, which I think is quite telling as to how important he is for us. Hold on, let me find it. Look at this stat, you guys. This is the shot conversion rate of Liverpool forwards in the league this season. And as you can see, Jota has 24.4%. He has the highest conversion rate. Then you have Salah in second, Cody Gakpo, Darwin in fourth, and Lucho in fifth. But like I said, I just really think he's our most clinical forward. And I think he's going to be a massive loss. And I was so excited about him starting tonight. And I will say it makes me a bit less confident, but we have to win. We have to win. And I do think Everton are nailed on to stay up. I don't think they should be so worried about that anymore. So I think there's a lot more on the line for us than there is for them. And I want us to come out tonight and fight with that intensity. And I do think with it being a nighttime kickoff, it can help us. But also Goodison is such a tough place to go because of the ground. It's so compact that the intensity and the atmosphere is going to be tough to deal with. No matter where they are in the league, we know that form goes out of the window for these type of fixtures, And I believe that actually we've only won twice, I'm pretty sure, away from home at Goodison under Klopp. So it shows that it's going to be a very tough fixture. Delior says, negativity always works in our favor. Look at our signings that everyone didn't think that would work out. Yeah, and that's why, though, Delior, once the decision has been made, Arne Slot is going to be our manager, then I think that's why we have to fully back that manager. Just like when we signed I was about to say Takumi Minamio. When we signed Wataru Endo, like, so many doubters were there. But look, if we just back him and we show him that love, he can prove his doubters wrong. And I think that's what Liverpool Football Club is all about. So that's why we should absolutely back him once it's basically official that he's going to be our next manager. Endless Void says, as a Liverpool fan, what do you expect from this season and what transfers do you think we need to take this club to the next level? What do I expect from the rest of this season? I want us to win the next 5 games. It's crazy to think, but we only have 5 games left in the league. I want us to win all 5. They are all 5 of them are winnable. And then we just have to see where it takes us in the league. It's going to be difficult because, if Arsenal and City win all their remaining games, they will finish above us in the league. That's just the reality. Arsenal have a much higher goal difference, and then City are ahead of us on points. But all we can do is win our games. And my expectation is we got to win the last 5. And then you're asking about transfers for the summer. I think the 2 key positions that we need to strengthen in the summer, one is in the midfield because Thiago is going to be leaving, and that's going to open up a lot of wages. And I know he's often not fit, but I think like potentially a more defensive minded midfielder for the future with a lot of talent because Wataru isn't that young. And then I also think a center back because Joel Matip is going to be leaving. Ibu Konate is injury prone, so I think a left-sided center back. Those 2 positions I think are the priority. I know a lot of you seem to be saying striker because we're struggling for goals right now, but we do have so much quality within that front 5. And unless one of those players from that front 5 leaves, I don't think it makes sense to add an attacker unless we sell one, And right now I think we're just going through a bit of a rough patch with some of our attackers, but I don't think that should immediately mean that we're like desperate to sign a striker. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, guys, I'm gonna run a poll too. I said I would run a poll. Um, oh no, shoot, wait, I can't do it right now. Uh, What about Jared Bowen? I would like Jared Bowen. The problem is his price and his age. So I don't think it's a Liverpool type signing, especially under Michael Edwards. And I think we'd be more likely to go for like a younger right winger who has a higher ceiling than Bowen, because I think this might be Bowen's prime. And I think he's a very, very good player. I would want him, absolutely. But I just don't think it's the way we recruit, because I think it would cost at least £60 million in this market, you know? Fun Gaming says, Leo, would you be happy if FSG bought a new club? Yeah, I would be, because it would help with our scouting and everything else. And then you said, who would you sign next season for? So like I said, those 2 positions, a center back and a midfielder. No. Yo, my bro, fresh dough twin. Look, it's kombucha, but I just fill up this bottle with water. Trust me, I would be drunk by now already. My bro, Thomas. Do you think Pep Linders is ready? It doesn't seem like it, because he should have been an option, and there's no rumors of that whatsoever. It was announced right away he's leaving. So from his side of things, he probably knows the magnitude of the Liverpool job too. And the fact that we heard nothing about him potentially taking it shows that it's just not even an option. You know what I mean? And he's best placed to know, because he knows about the magnitude of the job. He sees Jurgen day in, day out. And yeah, I think there's a reason why he's not an option. Fesh Droffen says, I've seen a really talented defensive mid in Genoa from Denmark, Martin Frendrup, who has been linked a little with Liverpool before. I haven't seen him, so I don't know. Yo, Garvit in the building. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yes, Thomas says, go, go, red, teams of the north, guys. Thomas, who's also from Lille, is getting me to become a Lille supporter. So I think I have a new club in France. Well, not a new. Yeah, I'd never had a club in France that I supported, and I can't wait to go to a Lille game because from what I see, there's a lot of things I see that's special about that club. So stay tuned. Once I learn more about Lille, maybe some of you guys will become fans too. K4D1 says, Leo, who do you think will win the Prem? Truthfully, no one can know. Do I think we're favorites? Absolutely not. I think Man City are by far the favorites because they've been in this position so many times before and they've gotten the job done, and and they do have they're ahead on points if they win their game in hand. So I think they're by far the favorites. But do I still think it's possible? Of course. And if you tell me it's still possible with 5 games left to go in the season, then trust. I'm gonna believe because otherwise it's just no fun. Then, like I said before, I wouldn't support. I wouldn't watch football. Like if you go into it's like comparing it to going to one football game. If you go support your team at a football game, let's say by my guy Thomas, who's sending the clap emojis too. Let's say you're going to a Lille against PSG game, and your energy before is PSG has a much better team. They've beat us the last 3 times. They're gonna win. What fun is that to go to a game and just expect them to lose? Like if the players show up like that, of course you're going to lose. You have to have that mentality that it's possible. And we see in football that many times it is possible. It's happened. And that's the beautiful thing about this game. That's what we love about it. So I'm absolutely going to believe. I'm not I'm not completely out of my mind to think that we're favorites because we're just not. If you look at the league and you look at the games left, City have the best chance of doing it. That's just the truth. Singh says Darwin Nunes has to start. This could be the perfect game where he comes back to his best. What do you guys think? Would you start Darwin tonight? Because I personally wouldn't. I love Darwin, but my front three that I would personally go for is Salah right wing, Cody Gakpo, and then Lucho on the left because Lucho's been in really good form too. He brings so much energy, and in a derby, like he's gonna be perfect for that. And then Cody Gakpo is just undroppable right now. He's been our best attacker the last 4 or 5 games. And then Salah, we know his record against Everton. He just has to start. Calvin says Lille have some crazy players. Jonathan David is a baller. Oh, yes, he is. I remember a few years ago, he was linked with like 80 million pound move to different clubs. And since then, it looks like he's just going to stay at Lille maybe. But he's definitely a very good, the Canadian, very good player. But they have a lot of gems now. They have a lot of gems. A lot of gems. Which club do you support in the Netherlands? I don't really support one. I do like the supporter culture that I see in the Dutch league. So I think there's a lot of clubs I respect and like and have watched, but I wouldn't say there's one standout one that I like support more than others. You know what I mean? Ahmed Yassir says, Leo, I would love to know your opinion. Is Amorim a better option than the Dutch manager Arne Slot? It's so hard to say. It's so hard to say. I mean, we were talking about it. Like this transition from Jurgen Klopp is going to be so incredibly hard that you can't say one is going to be a bigger success than the other. What's for sure from what you're looking at that I have pulled up here from Melissa Reddy is it will be a smoother transition from the players that we have that stylistically. It's just I will say what I was really excited about Ruben Amorim is it felt like it was going to be such a fresh start because of how different it was. So I will say I was very excited, but again, now that it's no longer possible, I'm not one to sulk in the past where I'm like, oh, if we had Ruben Amorim, we would have won the treble next season. Like, no, that's not how I think. I think that really great people are there for us behind the scenes like Michael Edwards, like Richard Hughes, everyone that we know makes those decisions, and I'm gonna back what they've done because they're doing way more research than I am. I take walks in the park every day. I read about Liverpool and I watch Liverpool games, but I don't know obviously as much as them, so you have to respect that. and you have to back it because, like I said, if you don't back your team, if you don't back your manager, then you might as well not try because they need our support. You know what I mean? So that's the energy we have to bring from day one. Fesh Giraffe says, "Are you gonna make watch-alongs for the Euros?" I hope so, but for part of a big chunk of the Euros, I'm gonna be in Greece, and I don't know how the connection is gonna be. But I would love to because I'm hyped for the Euros this summer in Germany. I'm gonna be supporting France. It's gonna be real fun, and I would love to do watch-along. So I'll see. Hopefully, it's possible. We'll see. No, Mo Liverpool. Amorim has not chosen West Ham over us. Trust me. Trust me. The bigger decision, I think, is we decided to not go for him in the end. And I think it's because stylistically, it's so different from us. And we wanted a smoother transition. That's my personal opinion on why we diverge our attention more so to Arne Slot. That's personal opinion. Yo, my boy Toma gifted a membership. W's in the chat, and you've gifted Fesh Giraffe 2, who's an OG of the channel. Let's go. Let's go. Big up to you too, Ahmed Yassir. You'll never walk alone. Would you rather be in Spurs' position or Newcastle's position? Let me see. You're kidding, right? Spurs is 10 points ahead. What do you mean by that? Who will win the Golden Boot? Oof. Guys, who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot? That's a good question. I'm going to pull it up here. Guys, it's actually so tight at the top. Look at this. Guys, let me know who you think is going to win the Golden Boot. I personally think it might actually be Cole Palmer because he takes penalties for Chelsea, and Chelsea are so inconsistent, but sometimes they'll like win games by large margins and then lose, so they're a team that's like so all over the place. Um but that's a good question because I just looked at the hold on, let me oh here we go. Let me pull it up for you guys. Guys, look at the state of the Golden Boot race. Unfortunately, I'm not so sure Salah can catch up because he's on 17. Look. Can you guys see that? Erling Haaland is in first with 20. And he's tied with Cole Palmer, who's also on 20. But look, Cole Palmer has taken 9 penalties. Then we have Oli Watkins, who's having an insane season. I think he could go down as the player of the season. I really think he deserves it because he also has 12 assists, I believe, on top of the 19 goals, which is insane. And 0 of them have been penalties. So Oli Watkins definitely is in with a shout. Dominic Solanke has 18. And then we have Isaac and Salah with 17 as well. But yeah, I actually think it could be Cole Palmer. I really think so. And I say that because, yeah, he takes all the penalties and Chelsea are so up and down that I feel like he could, like Chelsea, like I wouldn't be surprised if this weekend against Villa, they win like 5-2 or something, you know what I mean? So there's just like goals all the time. And, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe Erling Haaland too. Obviously, he has to be in with a shout because he's also on 20 and his main thing is goal scoring. Yeah, Cole Palmer is injured. He didn't play yesterday against Arsenal, but I think he should be back for the next game, right? I don't think it's anything serious, right? From what I've seen, at least. See, this is a good quote from Melissa Reddy too, who says, Michael Edwards has never been one to do the most obvious thing. His approach is, if we have all this wealth of information, why would we do the thing that everybody can see? And that's our recruitment as well. Our recruitment is very similar to that philosophy. So I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised that it's a manager that's kind of left field. 100% football says Leo, we need to buy a world class center back next season. I've been watching a lot of Liverpool games. I've realized that we really have a weak defense and we always concede. We need to buy someone big. The thing I don't really agree with that is like Ibu Konate is so top class that I think we have to make a decision. Either can we keep Ibu Konate fit, and then I think when Ibu Konate is fit, you can't not start him. Like he's that good. But if he can't stay fit, then yeah, maybe we do have to go out and buy someone who's proven and especially who's a track record of staying fit. You know, who can find that balance with Virgil. That's really key. Rohan, you can't ask me to choose between Soboslai and Maka. I do think McAllister has had a better season for us for sure, but I'm not you I can't say one is better than the other because they're both different players, you know what I mean? But definitely I think McAllister's had a better season than Soboslai for us. Yeah, Gusto has been pretty unbelievable. Thomas, I'd be curious to hear what you think about Gusto going to the Euros with France, but he's been unreal for Chelsea. A lot of Chelsea fans are saying that he's been like top three best players for them this season, which says a lot. Who's your Euros favorite? I do think England have to be considered the favorites, and then you could say Portugal, France, Germany. Paper Win says sorry, but we really need a top notch striker. I've seen a lot of you guys mentioning strikers. I do think if that's the case, then we need to sell one of the five attackers. You can't have six attackers in your side because we also have youngsters like Ben Doe, Cade Gordon, who also can get chances in cup competitions. So the only way we go and sign an attacker is if we sell one. And I'm not sure that any of them have strong interest in the market. Maybe Luis Diaz, there's been some rumors, but I don't think we want to sell him. From what it looks like, we actually want to offer him a new contract. Yo, Marnus Palmer, what's good? I see you have a profile picture of my guy James, JSM44. Yo, Ali, nice to see you in the building. How are you doing? Yeah, it's but Jude Bellingham deserves to win the whole lot. He's insane. He's insane. If England win the Euros, I genuinely think he could win the Ballon d'Or, which is crazy to say because he's 20 years old. 20 freaking years old. Yeah, exactly. You said Gusto is huge. He'll likely make the squad and compete with Pavard slash Kunde. And I also think right back actually is in a position that France is blessed with like the best options in the world. Like I know Pavard was a hero when France won the World Cup, but I don't think he's a standout option either. So I do think Gusto, if he keeps the form going, he could very well be the starting right back for France. Yeah, maybe I think he could impose himself as a starter if he takes up his chance. You know, if for example he plays really well and then he's undroppable if he really takes that opportunity. When is the next live? El Wibu tonight for the Merseyside derby. Jurgen Klopp's last game against Everton. We're going to be live for that watch along tonight, so that's going to be absolutely massive. Where all we can do is come away with the 3 points. Yo, Alwino is in the building. Nice to see you, bro. How are you doing? Mr. Bean. Oh, Mark Smith. I love watching Mr. Bean growing up. I need to watch clips tonight. Past prime, but Kunde. Yeah, Kunde is very good. And I agree, Pavard is not the best option anymore. But yeah, Kunde is very good. But still, I think Gusto could impose himself as a starter if, again, he takes his chance. Ooh, Pavard is also a former Lusk boy. Jeez, there's so many. So many. Yes, tonight, Simon, tonight there's going to be a watch along for the massive game against Everton. So make sure to tune in for that. Exactly, Indian Scouser. We're going to trust whoever Michael Edwards goes for. I'm definitely going to trust. You know what I mean? Festgiraffen has been a member for 1 month as a channel legend. Big up to you, Festgiraffen. Big up. Thank you for the support. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Damn. Wait, Pep? What are you guys saying right now about breaking news? Hey, Kaden, nice to see you in the building. Who says, hey, Leo, I'm going to Denmark from July 31st to August 31st. That's sick. Oh, no, August 13th. So you're staying like 14 days. Is that for holiday? But what are you guys saying about Pep? I don't understand. Alwino, right now we have enough mods because the mods are especially needed for the watch-alongs, because of fake scores. But the next time I see that more are needed, I'm going to remember, okay? I'm going to remember you in line. Big up to you, Thomas. Leo, how do you think France is going to perform in the upcoming Euros? I think they're going to do well like they always do, just because there's so much talent in that squad. And I actually don't think the expectations are that crazy. I think for England, it's kind of a problem because the expectations are that England are the favorites, and we know how difficult it is for them to deal with that pressure. But it feels like in France, like we're going to go far in the competition, but it's not like you have to win it. It seems like, maybe. I mean, you tell me, Thomas, how you feel about France, but to me, it doesn't seem like it has to. Pep? Wait, what's the joke with Pep, guys? Someone let me know in the chat. Delior, I don't understand what the joke is. Guys, I don't understand what the joke is. Don't tell me that Pep Guardiola is getting an extension, please. Yeah, Andres, I did live, I learned to speak English like this when I lived in New York for 11 years. So that's how English became my most natural language. Even though it's my third language I learned in my life, it's, now it's my most natural one, just because I went to school there and I even went to university there and everything. Oh, whoa. Kaden says, I got picked to go play soccer there by my soccer coach. That's sick. Damn. Thomas says, for France, it's more important to win the Olympics than the Euros this year. But yeah, favorites as usual, but everything is possible in football. Exactly. Do you think we have a chance to win the title? Of course, Betty. Of course. Look at the state of the table. We just need to win all our games. Shout out to New York. Where are you from, Andres? John Soccer, I don't watch that many sports outside of football just because I'm so ingrained in football, Liverpool, that I think when I lived in the US, I did watch a decent amount of the NBA. I love watching basketball, but otherwise, I'm not really into. I love watching like sports docs on, for example, Formula One and stuff, but documentaries, not like the actual tournaments or anything like that. I. But yeah, definitely, I love sports documentaries. But yeah, I'm not ingrained into other sports because otherwise I think it'd become my whole life and it's just too much. Oh, you live in LA? Nice. I have been there before. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. So how did you become a Liverpool fan then? Yo, Adam Gamer 120 1234 is in the building. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I mean, it's been a whirlwind of 24 hours where we've just had so many different rumors on who the different managers could be, but in the end, as you can see that's on the screen here, it looks like Arne Slot, the Feyenoord coach, is going to be our next manager. It's only a matter of time now. Yeah, Survive to Drive. I loved it. Exactly. Like that's the type of sports stuff I love. Last Dance I love. So like different documentaries I will absolutely watch, but like the live aspect of it, yeah, only football. Only football. Zichin says, Leo, be Liverpool's manager, please. We need your positivity. Well, I'll stay positive. I'll still be that light when Arne Slot has his first press conference and all those things. I will be there. Trust. I will believe in him, and hopefully, for any of the doubters in the building, I can make you believe because, like I said, even if he doesn't end up being successful, at least we can say we tried and we backed him and we did all we could, which is all you can do. But boy, is he taking on a difficult job, having to face this Pep Guardiola team, this Arteta Arsenal team. It's going to be some task, that's for sure. Scouse Chris says, can you rank what positions we need to improve the most from first to fourth? So the first position we need to improve the most, I think, is defenders. Then in second, I would say midfielders. Third, I would say forwards. And fourth, I would say goalkeepers. Because we literally have Alisson and Kelleher. You can't ask for anything better than that. You really can't. And Andres says, I played youth soccer at my local park and the coach chose Liverpool as the team name back in '06. I was a Barcelona fan for the longest, but started watching Liverpool when Coutinho was going off. Oh, that's sick. Do you still support Barca too? Like, is that your other club too? Yo, Pertna, nice to see you in the building. How do you feel about the news of Arne Slot being the chosen one? Our next manager, potentially. I'm hoping Spurs can stop Arsenal. Yeah, I think Spurs is going to have the biggest impact on the title race. If I think anyone's going to stop Man City, I think it's Spurs as well. So they're going to have the deciding say. And thankfully, Ange Postecoglou, the Spurs coach, is a Liverpool fan, don't forget. So hopefully that's extra motivation for him to deliver us that title. Ian FTBL says, hello Leo, I'm doing a collab with two other Liverpool editors. I'm doing Maka. What's your two favorite goals of his? So first, it has to be that volley against Fulham. That was an insane goal. And then, has he scored many for Liverpool? What would be the second? Are you saying just for Liverpool or just from his whole career? Because if you're saying from his whole career, then I think that last minute penalty he scored against United is beautiful because it was in the last seconds and there was so much pressure and he just took it so calm and composed to equalize, I think it was. Yeah, I know, Pitna. We were all in shock. All in shock. Yo, Mars in the building. Nice to see you. Copper says, I'm a PSV fan, Feyenoord's title rivals, and Arne Slot has brought many youngsters to great heights and has been able to replace his sold star players really well. It's definitely what Liverpool needs. That's what I like to hear from the Dutch. That's what I like to hear. I'm screenshotting that for when people send me negativity because I can send your comment from a PSV fan. That's what I like to hear. Do I want Luton to stay up? Yes, I think it'd be an incredible story if Luton stayed up. Incredible. Big up to you, Ahmed Yassir, and shout out to Malaysia. Leo, do you think Salah is leaving after this season? I think there's a good chance. I think if another big bid comes in this summer from Saudi, like let's say in the 100 to 150 million range, I think we'd be a lot more inclined to accept it now. Unfortunately, as sad as it is to think about that. Deku, I'm hyped about Adidas, the Adidas collab, about us going back to Adidas away from Nike. I'm personally hyped because I think our best kits came under New Balance and Adidas, and the nostalgia is gonna hit. But I just prefer Adidas as a brand, like the fashion of Adidas to Nike personally. That's just my taste, you know what I mean? So I was hyped when I saw the news. Cody Gakpo says one of my favorite youngsters that Arne has created is Quentin Timber. Wait, is that the brother of Julian Timber that plays at Arsenal? I want to see if they're brothers. You say his potential is insane. Does anybody know if they're like brothers or they're like closely related? I'm a pen merchant, says Leo. How heavy do you back Liverpool? Because it's away. The Everton fans will be loud as they can, and they'll be high on confidence. So there could be a surprise if Liverpool do not show up. I agree. That's why we have to be switched on from the first moment. And like I said, it's not going to be an easy one, but I do think there's more on the line. I think Everton, when you look at the league, I think it's pretty clear now that they're going to stay up, and therefore we have a lot more on the line. So I expect that to show tonight, where we need to prove that we're the ones that would accept nothing but 3 points, and that's the mentality we need to see in the energy, intensity, desire, everything. Oh, okay, Darzo, you got the stats. So I've got the Arne Slot stats on Football Manager. According to his stats, he has 14 for both attack and defense. He has 17 for tactical stats, 13 for technical for his tactical knowledge. He has an 18. Oh, you didn't finish the last part. No way, they're actually twins. Nah, they're twins? Damn, that's a talented football family, because I also rate Julian Timber from I don't know if you guys saw the goal he scored the other day for Arsenal. I think it was for the youth team, because he's coming back from an injury, serious injury. But I back him. I think he's such a good player. I would have loved him at Liverpool because he can play center back and right back. He's so good. And he actually had started off so well at Arsenal, and then he picked up a really serious injury, and that's why we haven't seen much of him this season. Leo, do you think Lucho is leaving this summer? Impossible to say. Impossible to say. Hussam, I like to hear that positivity. Nice extra edits. How's your day? Damn, guys, what do you think of this? The La Liga president, Javier Tebas, has announced that La Liga will play official matches in the USA from the 2025-26 season. That's insane. For such a big league to say that they're not going to be playing their league matches in the USA, which definitely comes down to like a business decision. But man, if that was the league I supported, I would not be happy. Imagine like Liverpool Everton being played in Los Angeles. Like that, I think is not right. It's really not right. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Because obviously, business decision, they can probably make tons of money from it. But man, that's the start of the end for domestic football. Are you going to the game tonight? No, but we're doing a watch along on here tonight. You just say dead league. Well, that decision from the La Liga president, damn, that's like I said, I would be so pissed if I was a supporter of a La Liga team. Did I see the El Clasico? No, I didn't. But man, boy, did Jude step up yet again. Ian Fabo. If Salah leaves, who do you want to replace him personally? I love Olise because he is a big game proven, like his penalty against Man City or free kick against United. I love Olise too. My only concern with him is his injury record. Um, but other than that, there's not a million options, honestly. I'm not exactly sure. Because I do think Jared Bowen is not the type of player that we would sign, like I said before, because of his age and the price it would take for him to have to come, you know? Then Waffles, don't wear the Liverpool shirt then. I can't imagine the PL games in Qatar. Yeah, that's when it's over. That's when I'm hanging up the boots. I'm hanging up the boots. If the Premier League games are played in Qatar or Saudi, that's the end. Do I think currently Fulham is a better club than Everton? They're definitely better run and look at the league table, you know? But Everton is the bigger club, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you're talking about this moment in time right now, definitely you have to say that Fulham is a better club because they actually recruit really well. You see their style of football, like they're a well run club, you know, and Everton are struggling in so many aspects of that. I got the word no shirt tonight. Yeah, no shirt, okay? Oh yes, Verstraffen. All right, guys. That is going to be it for this live on Arne Slot. I think especially in the beginning we went through a lot more of like, the different reports more in detail and everything like that. But like I said, tonight we're going to have another live stream and it's going to be for the biggest thing of today, let's be honest. The Merseyside derby, Klopp's last Merseyside derby. We're going to watch it together on live and hopefully we come away with the 3 points. We have to find a way even though it's going to be real difficult at Goodison. We got to do it. We got to do it. But yeah, I'll be live here. We'll be live here from 6:55 p.m. UK time so we can talk about the team before. We can do some flag quizzes, all of that. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to get some outside time because this morning I was just prepping stuff around all the news and the drama that was going on. But yeah, I will see you guys later. I will see you guys tonight. So up the Reds. And thank you all for joining the live. I'll see you very soon. I hope you guys enjoy the afternoon or morning. You who's in LA, that definitely